Hey everybody, welcome to a little update slash behind the scenes kind of deal. I'm currently working on the Mass Effect series. I'm starting with Mass Effect 1, of course. And it's taking a while between recording, editing, work, doing other, playing other games and other things. It takes a little while. So I just figured, you know what, I'll give you a little sneak peek slash show you how I do, or at least how this one's going to be done. Other games are a little different. Sometimes a little easier. The Resident Evil games were a little easier, to be honest, because there's not a whole lot of choices. You just chop it together. It wasn't that bad. I had to, when recording, I usually have to play the level a few times, but that's just so I get better shots, the interesting parts, etc., etc. So it's a little easier, but this is a little bit longer. As you can see, I'm almost done. I'm sticking to the main story of the game. There's really no side quests. I didn't record any of that part. I did it because it's fun, but I didn't record it to try to keep this, quote, short. It's going to be in 3 parts, I want to say about 2 hours or so each. I think the 3rd part's going to be a little shorter. I'm still working on the Battle for the Citadel, the last portion of it, with the credits. So let's go into how I do conversations, because that is a big part of the Mass Effect game. In my things, I don't like HUD, I don't like dialogue choices, menus, none of that. I like to have a seamless transition, almost like it is a real movie. So here for dialogue, I cut it up. So we've talked to, let's go back here. We've talked to Saren. Spoiler alerts, by the way, if you haven't ever played this. Talked to Saren. I cut to the next scene. Actually, I cut off a little bit extra there. It showed him looking up and wrapping around, but I'm like, we don't need that. So I cut off, 2 seconds. But, there was actually dialogue there that I cut. I do add a little audio fade, so everything cuts over, because there's background noise. In this scene, there is actually background audio. The rest of it, there's not, and that's one thing I got to go through and add once I'm done chopping all this together. So let's see. Here's a audio sequence, or a conversation sequence. We find the end of the sequence. Alright, we found the end of Joker. Joker talking. I don't want a big long, what am I gonna do? So I chop it up, get rid of all this extra, find where he's about to talk. So right there, he's moving. That's probably about where I'll have it. Scoot it over. And sometimes I have to do a little more tweaking. But for the most part, I was going to do a crossfade to keep that audio smooth in the background. So I see that sudden jump. I hate those little jumps.
Back. Opening the wheel.
So basically, we're going to go over here and give us a little smooth cut. Most times, if it's going from one scene to the next, it's not, y'all won't have to do this, but sometimes the audio leaks over. So, Joker was talking to us here, but it leaked over to this camera angle. So we have to add that, smooth it over. You can barely tell anything happens. So let's back it up.
Opening the relay.
Besides some of the glowing effect, the embers, it's hard to tell that anything happened. There's no jump to it. And so that's how I do conversations. I remove all the dialogue, and it just flows right over, from one person talking to the next. Another big part of the game is combat. And here's a lot of talking. Here we go. Here's the combat. I get all the Citadel. Here is... So we're... Here, I try not to have too much combat. Kind of like the Star Wars. I want some combat because it's it's part of it. It's a movie usually has combat in it. I don't want just to do the cutscenes or the few dialogue options. I want the full story, quote unquote. So here we see some combat. I'd keep the best clips and use those, quote, best clips, And since I'm using a controller, I usually have to do some of these sections a few times to get better looking because it's really stiff sometimes. I miss a lot of shots. I'm better with a keyboard and mouse, but a keyboard and mouse it's really fast. When you aim, it's kind of unnaturally weird looking, where a controller's more smooth in that aspect. So I keep some of the better clips. I try not to have too much of there, just enough to be fun without going overboard. So here we have the end of one. I blew something up. I do usually add a transition in here because I like how it looks. It's a little chaotic. I also add a crossfade because there's a lot of, again, sounds going on in the background. I don't want it just to be like boom, boom and go to the next, sound. So here with a little transition. Lift. Bam. And most of the clips like this I would almost cut out, but it wasn't too bad. Of how I killed the Krogan. That's how I killed the Krogan. But then, okay, so into that clip, I don't need to go to the next, I want to go to the next scene. So I go ahead and give it a chaotic, try to make it as actiony as possible. So unfortunately, the shooting mechanics in Mass Effect just aren't the best, especially when trying to record something like this. And then bam, I'll go to a few more. I got a few minutes worth of combat, and like I say, I try to stick to story. But that's essentially it on how I do this. It's super simple. It's just very time consuming to record everything, have live. But so I'm almost done. All I gotta do is finish this last little section. Go back and add music to it all, which I got all the audio here. Just gotta go throw it on there. And which that's also something I have tried to do is adjusting volumes. Because some scenes are just stupid quiet, some are stupid loud. I try to bring it down, especially action scenes. I lower all the combat noise because you don't want to blow up your speakers and then have to turn it up to hear dialogue. So I try to, fix some of that. But that's pretty much, like I say, pretty much it how I'm doing Mass Effect 1. I've started recording Mass Effect 2. But that was slow starting because importing my character over was god-awful. It took him and imported him over, but he looked like a vampire. Cheeks sunken, stupid white. I'm talking about he just looked nothing like he does in this video. So, you have to go through like a whole 15 or so minutes to get to where you're finally at the character creator, and they may look good in the character creator, but getting in-game and getting the in-game light just destroys them again. So I had to do that, I don't know, a lot of times. And it took me a few to getting finally looking really close to how he looks in this game, and I think I pretty much got him there. So, I'm recording that now. Again, that'll take probably forever to, edit. But hey, it's fun. It takes a little while. Next up after the Mass Effect series, I'm thinking of doing Metro, unless someone else can think of a better option. Metro is one of my favorite games, which Mass Effect is my favorite game. Mass Effect series tops it all. I may do a review on it, review on a few other things, just for funsies. But the Metro series is probably my next favorite game. So I think I'm doing those because, again, those can also be recorded without HUD. I like games without HUDs to make it more seamless movie experience. So do the Metro. I thought about doing Mad Max because I don't think a lot of people played that game. It was really fun. Had a decent story to it. Hopefully I can get it without a HUD. I don't know though. So we'll figure that one out. Or if any of y'all have any suggestions on what you might like to see, it'd be fun to watch. Especially if there's a no HUD option. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you like this or if you're looking forward to this or if you like some of the other stuff. But hey, just let me know. Hope you enjoy this. Well, at least I really want you to hope you enjoy the actual Mass Effect movie. I've worked pretty hard on it. A lot of hours, numbers of hours. I can't wait to get done with it and then so I can get to the next started on the next one. Anyways, hope you enjoy. Hope you have a great day and you take it easy.